Good, okay. And Tom, you're taking the notes? Sorry.
I am.
All right, thank you. And so going through review and approve the minutes for the previous meeting. Did everybody get a chance to look at that?
I did, yep.
Okay. So can we approve the minutes?
With that getting rid of that extra period you mentioned, let's go get rid of that.
Okay, thank you. I think everything else looks pretty good.
I have a motion to approve the minutes. I make a motion.
Second.
Great, approved. Thank you. So pending invoices, I actually do have one for last year, which was for Wayside Florists. And this is for the wreaths, patriotic wreaths, 11 of them for Memorial Day. So
Is it payable those get to Wayside?
Yep, 2 Wayside Florists.
Okay.
The balance, yeah, the balance is $505 even.
I move approval of that invoice.
Second,
Second, thank you. So we'll get that to the town as well. Thank you. And then the Finance Council, any updates? Nope.
No.
Okay, so I think that might get pushed out for another one then.
Is that in terms of taking of the budget going forward?
Correct. So I guess we'll continue to work on that.
how are we, so are we, how are we gonna work on that? I guess I'm not
Yes.
clear who's doing what.
I think previously, David, you and I, we were going to be trying to approach, remember the finance and all of them. Remember, you and I were going to be working on that. So we can come up with trying to get onto the finance committee's agenda to try to, one, increase the budget, but then also think about the celebration in 2025.
Well, do we go to them or do we go to the select board? Shouldn't we get the select? Matt?
Matt, what would be the
Well,
best?
I mentioned this at the latest meeting. During my liaison report, I just mentioned that, in addition to the Veterans Day work, that you had discussed this possibility and that the committee might want to come before the select board at a future meeting to discuss it.
Okay.
But just in terms of the order, shouldn't we talk to the select board before any conversations with the finance committee?
That's an interesting question. It depends upon whether you want to look at it from a budgetary or a town goals perspective, right? So I think that yeah, I know, but I mean, I guess maybe the very first question you get from the select board is how much money are we talking about? And, the first question you'll get from the finance committee is, well, is the select board on board with this? It's like, I don't know how we're going to do it.
So,
yeah,
Matt, would it be?
I think you could do either way. Bottom
So,
line.
yeah. So, Matt, would it be maybe our approach should be one to approach the select board and say we'd like to talk to the finance committee to potentially increase this. One, not only for our budget for moving forward, but also for our intention to use money for the 2025 celebration.
Well, I think that, one other thing is that it's the town manager that's going to, propose a budget, right? And that the finance committee is going to review. I think that maybe it is best to go to the select board, sort of, get the town manager aware that this is and see if there's a sense among the select board that, we want to fund this. I mean, there's going to be a really tough year coming up to try to increase budgets. it may be one where we might need to do it the subsequent year
Sure.
is a guess, but we'll have to find out.
Okay. Thank you so much.
So do we talk to Jeremy first to get on the agenda?
Well, no, actually, I think that I would need to chat with the chair, with Linda, and just see when we can get you on the agenda. Just very much like last time with the Veterans Day thing. So, what I would be nice is if there was kind of a proposal, something a little more, fleshed out. I mean, maybe just something that where you would describe what other towns doing. I mean, very much like the discussion last time, and just what ballpark kind of investment it needs to be made to get us to where we need to go. So I think that's the kind of I would say we shouldn't just come in and say, hey, we think we should spend more on parades. I think that we should have something to point to.
Okay.
Thank you, Matt, again. Maybe we can work on that, obviously, as a committee, to sort of draft something like that then.
I can say that the select board agendas are pretty packed in the near term anyway. So, but it is true that if it's going to get into this budget cycle, we should get moving. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Should we drop a line to the finance committee then? Or is that? No? All right, never mind.
I know. I would say, I'm trying to think if any of you know a member of the finance committee, it just might be worth just having an informal conversation on a one-on-one basis to just say, hey, how would you approach this? What would you like to see? That kind of thing.
Okay.
And what order would you prefer, to be? And the time frame, is it already too late? They may say it's already too late. But I doubt it, but they might give a good sense of timeframes.
Okay. Well, I actually I know someone that's on the finance committee now, so maybe I can have that conversation with them, and I can CC anybody, our board, obviously about that conversation. David, are you comfortable with that?
Yeah, I mean, I know some people on it too.
Oh, okay.
I think
we're all going to work together.
We do need to type something up.
That sounds great. So let's think of a proposal, then we can discuss sort of our what we should steps moving forward, how to proceed for that. Does that sound good?
Yeah. So yeah.
Okay, great. Thank you. So now moving forward to our current planning for membership. So I think, Tom, there was a discussion.
Yeah, so I know I can say, sorry, what was that?
Oh, no.
When I approached to talk to Rob Norton about Veterans Day and his working with us on that, from the military representative perspective, he indicated to me an interest in returning to the committee. Rob, David and Sue, I think, David, you certainly know him. Sue, you'd recognize him, but he was on the committee until probably 2018. I think he went off. Does that sound right? Mid 2018, something like that.
I think so, yes.
Maybe even early 2019. Anyway, he indicated his interest in doing that. And he also told me that he'd spoken with Megan Crowley, who I don't know, but apparently had been on the committee even prior to that, who's also interested in returning. I guess he told me at the time she was up, she wanted to serve a second term. And incredible as this sounds, apparently at the time, the chair of the PCCC didn't want people to serve 2 terms. So didn't want her to go on. So she wants to come back and do another term. But so there, we've got 2 people there. And then Jaliska, I know you sent us a green card that was filled out.
That was filled out. So maybe we should all get together. I don't know if it's possible, maybe Rob or Megan, if they fill out a form, and then we can all talk about that, about what their experience.
I suggested to Rob that he needed to get in, and he hasn't gotten back to me with Megan's contact info. I asked him for that.
Okay. So I
we
think
could do
that's the
that.
best thing. Yeah, I think that's the best thing we can do. And then once we have all of them, then we can bring that forward to the select board.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then David last time had mentioned somebody who was interested as well, right?
Yeah, I think David, you had mentioned that you had talked to 3 people, that one person was thinking maybe, or can you give us an update on that?
No one's made a decision.
Okay.
Yeah. Are you, so I'm just
Well,
looking
this is overall good news. It sounds like there are more candidates than openings at this point.
Well, I guess what we'd get to, Matt, is if we had 3 people, that might, raise the question, can anything be done about that seat that is filled? But, we have a member who we've not seen here in almost 2 years now.
2 years.
Yeah.
Great.
Since Christmas of 2018.
Yeah, I
the
think
tree lighting.
that is totally within the purview of the board, because I mean, if a member misses multiple meetings, then, they're clearly not fulfilling their duties. So.
Yeah.
And then Matt, I think we also had talked about potentially maybe having like associate members for some of these events, because obviously it helps to have more people present and available. And if we can reach a quorum and not completely depend on the 4 of us committee members, like say for this meeting, reaching a quorum, is it possible to think about having associate members for this committee?
I believe you'd need a charter change to do that, but
Okay.
the alternative would be a subcommittee.
Oh, okay.
Or a task force, but I don't know how formalized you want to get,
Yeah, I'm not sure, Josica, that my concern at least isn't so much if we had 7 full members, wouldn't be so much getting 4 for a quorum. It's just, it sure would help if we had extras to carry some of the physical load on some of the event days. That'd be great.
Yes, exactly. So maybe then we can look
I
and
mean,
see
there people can be volunteers without being members of
Absolutely.
the committee. Yeah.
Okay, that's great then. That answers my question. So thank you for that.
Tom, first of all, are you sure it's Megan? There was a Nancy Crowley on the committee, but there was no Megan Crowley.
I asked him specifically if he meant Nancy, and he said no, because I know Nancy. But he maybe it was something where there was an associate as well. He might have had the name wrong. I'll follow up with him and see.
I'm not sure, but I didn't think people were allowed to return to committees. Once you've fulfilled whatever the maximum number is, and my understanding was that this committee, it's only a 5-year term. In 1999, the Board of Selectmen did approve there could be up to 5 associate members.
Hey, David, if it's 5 years, then I'm up. I'm done. So I was told it was 6. So.
I guess I should check on this. There's not a legal limit. There is just a strong tradition in Concord of, having term limits in effect for committees, but I think there also have been notable exceptions. So,
Yes.
Yeah. So I can follow up on that if you want.
Thank you.
But I mean, the good news is it sounds like you've got candidates, whether you want to enforce that kind of a limit or not.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know, David, who are you talking to? People who have not served on the committee, I presume, before? I mean, you might.
That's right. Yeah.
Well, I think the case is now is that we have not had the full
Tom,
7.
I thought you started in June of 16. That's what.
I'd have to look. I thought I had 1 more year in. I thought it was 6 years. So, but anyway.
Well,
I'll
no,
double check.
5 years would be next spring.
Right, but I'm telling you, I don't know what year. I would have thought it was 15, but I'd have to check that because it was soon after my kids went to college and they graduated in 14. So
Yeah. Well, no, I have a record of when people served.
All right then.
I mean, it's
Then I guess I'm
our-
16, one way or the other. I hope it's 5 years then.
no, it is 5 years. Anyway,
Okay, thank you. Well, I guess that's something we should look at.
Yeah, and I
thank
don't see
you.
the committee charge on the website, which is surprising. Most committees, they have their charge as part of their page.
Hmm.
So that'd be something to look at. Also, it's a little out of date. We've got John Arena as the co-chair.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, we should look at updating that.
Okay. But if any of you has the charge, it would be great if you just shoot it over to me.
I only have a paper copy.
Oh, okay.
That's something you can scan and send to us, David, or take a picture of. I'd love to see it. We should get that. Yeah.
Yeah,
on
me
the
too.
site.
That'd be great.
We know what we're
I've never
doing.
seen it.
Um,
Where'd you find us all?
I know, right?
Okay, I will see if what I can do. I'm not
Thank you so much, David.
technologically advanced.
You want to? I got a scanner at my house, David. You want to, just run by sometime. We could scan it and send it out there, right?
Okay,
That's fine. I'll drop you a note.
Thank you. So now I think we're on the current planning B for flag folding update. Is everybody aware of the flag folding? It will not be taking place this year. So the scouts, I will be sending out, I said that I would send out an updated notice after this meeting today, but we will not be partaking in that this year.
I thought one thing that might have been helpful for some of the members of the public is just to know that there's nothing preventing other organizations from having events. It's just that it won't be an official town event, this aspect. And so, in fact, it sounded like the fire department already had some plan to do some work there. So it's just, again, cases of COVID are surging right now. So it seems good to be prudent. So while I think that people were disappointed and it is unfortunate, there are a lot of reasons, a lot of events that we've had to cancel or cut down the scope of. So it's just where we are.
Yes, absolutely. Okay. Yes, thank you for that also. So we on item C, the Veterans Day checklist. Does everybody have a Veterans Day checklist?
I have last year's.
Okay. So we should update that, but I think one of the things that needs to happen is contacting which Tom and I had talked about, was contacting the honor guard. Right, Tom?
Yep. Yeah,
And
I've got
then-
the. Yep.
Sorry, I interrupted.
No, go ahead.
Okay, and then was there anybody else that we needed to contact, Tom, on that list? Let's see.
So we need the police department honor guard. We need to make sure the battery knows. I was
Yep,
thinking about
and
this. We may want to, sooner rather than later, just go over and kind of walk through, briefly where we're going to be, because this is going to be different. So where do we want to put, the battery to fire? Where do we want to put the trumpeter? People that are going to be involved. So we may want to do a walkthrough with the four of us. But I've got, if I scan through, we need the color guard. We've got the parade marshal, and that's Rob. He's all set. We need the battery. We need the trumpeter, which is all set. I guess we need to just then figure out, I don't think, so Rob can probably Rob would raise the flag. So that is, and then we just need to figure out, what part do we have a separate MC? What part does Rob do? He could do some or all of it, or so we just need to tighten up the the script to Tad on that, of who's talking.
Right, and that was something
But I
that
think
we were
really
gonna,
People are us, the Concord, the police honor guard, the battery, the parade marshal, and the trumpeter, I think are all we need.
okay, so the only person that we would need to follow up with would be the honor guard and the battery, correct? Just
Correct.
to verify, although the battery is aware of things that are going on, so.
Yeah, I've had some communication. I think you were copied on one of the emails, weren't you, Jaliska, with their president?
Yes, I believe so, yes.
They want to participate. They're all on board. Their approval from the select board and annual approval got put on hold and should be, Matt, on your all's agenda. That's sort of like a final hurdle.
Meaning their budget, is that what you're saying, for the year or something? Or-
No, they always need to get permission to fire.
Oh, okay, they're firing permission, okay. Yeah.
So that's something that has to happen. And Phil Kenny has submitted the paperwork a second time through the town manager's office, and it should get on the select board's agenda. The one thing that seemed different to me from what Phil Kenny was requesting is they wanted to also have a gun at St. Bernard Cemetery. And he said they've done that in the past. I don't remember that last year. So I haven't.
Is he
really-
talking about some years ago, there used to be a lot more elaborate Veterans Day. It was a parade would come up through the cemeteries. Or actually, I'm sorry, I'm thinking of Memorial Day. That was Memorial
I think
Day,
that's
but-
Memorial Day,
but
yeah.
they fired from both cemeteries, but I don't remember them firing from Veterans Day. I mean, we'd have to check with someone at the parish, Jaliska. But also, I mean, I don't see any logistic problem. We could certainly radio them if we're going to radio somebody in the cemetery.
Okay, so should I respond to him that it's fine by us?
Well, so let me figure out what's going on the church side of that from Holy Family Parish, who's in charge of St. Bernard. So let me find out a little bit of history about that, and then we can try to figure out if it's just no longer, they just haven't done it, or if that's something that they'd be willing and open to having take place.
Yep.
Okay. So why don't I try to do that before the weekend, and then I can just let you guys know. Is that okay? Okay.
So, Tom, in terms of location, Phil said he thought they would man 2 guns, and I think, one was going to be in the cemetery, one at St. Bernard's Cemetery. In terms of location, it seems like they could be in the hollow where they were last year. You can't even see them from
Right.
the flagpole.
Yeah, I would think so. I think that would be fine.
Mm-hmm.
Jaliska, do we want to look at just a calendar and see if we can just go over there for 15 minutes, the 4 of us, and just walk through the locations?
Yeah. Do you guys want to do it? Would you prefer to do it on the weekend or during the week?
I probably prefer weekend, but whatever. It's me.
So Sue and David, when would you prefer to do that, on the weekend or during the week?
I'm not sure I can swing it this weekend. So,
Okay.
I'd have to hear more about when you're thinking. Next week might be a little easier, but if nobody can make it during the week, then I'll try to make it this weekend. It's the best I can offer.
Well, it
Okay.
doesn't have to be this weekend. I don't think.
We
unless
yeah,
just-
right. We still have some time.
3 weeks, so it could be, a week from this weekend, and we'd still have 10 days to be getting to people about
Okay,
exact
Much
locations.
better. Much better. I can do it on a
Yep.
weekend next weekend, not this weekend.
Okay. So do we want to either plan the 31st or the 1st?
Sure. Sounds fine.
Okay. Would the morning be better or for everyone?
That's fine by me.
Yep. Okay. So do we want to do like a 10 o'clock in the morning on on the Saturday of the 31st?
Okay.
Does anyone have Halloween plans that would get messed up by that? Running around through the cemetery on Halloween.
I know.
You're saying 10? Could
Yeah,
I,
is
can I ask
Mhm.
for, how about 10 minutes after 10?
okay. Well, why don't we? Do you want to just say 10:15 then? Why don't we say 10:15? At do you want to start at Sleepy Hollow, and then end up at St. Bernard's if we can, if we reach a
Yeah,
decision?
yeah,
So why don't we meet on the 31st Saturday?
I'll have to
At
cut out after pretty quickly. But
okay. And if it 10:10 works better
Would
for
it be
you,
better to
Dave?
do Sunday morning?
Oh yeah,
No, no. I work on the weekends, so it's so that's fine.
so
30
would an earlier time work better for you then, David?
No, that's fine. Let's do it then.
Okay. Okay, so why
I
don't we
don't
say
think,
10?
you know, I don't think we all need to be there anyways, but so that's fine. Do it that time.
Okay. And then if you need a scoot, we can certainly write something up and make sure that we get all the information to you that we need. So we'll set a time for all of the four of us to meet at Sleepy Hollow 10:15 on the 31st. Okay, and then we could do a quick walkthrough.
Do we
That'd
meet
be
right at
great. And
Pritchard
that's
Gate?
it. I was gonna say let's meet at the Pritchard Gate.
Yep.
Okay.
Hey, I was just on the Facebook page for the committee and I saw that on this date last year, there was an announcement about the Veterans Day for 2019. So maybe this would be good timing to put in some announcement of the, smaller scope event coming up.
Okay. Well, maybe we can draft something in the next couple days and try to get something posted then by the weekend. How does
Yeah, I
everyone
mean,
feel?
it's probably not as important for it to be available as early since
Right.
we're not inviting people. It's almost the opposite.
Right. And
Yeah.
I mean, we would normally do the flag folding and doing all that and posting pictures and stuff. So
Yeah, the
we can-
flag folding announcement went out even earlier last year.
right.
Do we want to talk to the communications director in town and just have her looped in on this?
I don't know how in the past you've gotten these out on the Facebook page, but if
Is this
that's
the-
the
Oh,
way,
well, we've got the Facebook page. Yeah, that's Jaliska. I think you have that, right?
yeah, okay.
Yeah. So we have access, so we can add and update all
Okay.
information. But it would be good to send a unified message anyway to the communications director as well. So
Yeah.
it's a single message rather than broken.
Yeah, I didn't know, Tom, did you reach out already or no?
I have not. No.
Okay.
Jaliska, I'm happy to do that. You want to do it? What do you want to do? Does anybody else
No,
want
I think if whoever'd like to do it, we just need to make sure to get a single page. And then what we could do is just let the journal know as well. So we can send an email to the journal as well.
I was thinking she might be able to help. I can't remember the communication director's name. I'm sorry, but
Aaron Stevens.
Yeah.
she might be able to help us with that.
Okay. Well, we can talk to Aaron Stevens, and then if we write a single message, and then we can go from there, and we can try to plan to have something up on the website by this weekend.
So are you getting the website, Jaliska, and who's reaching out to Aaron Stevenson?
So I think that should be the one thing. So Tom, I will reach out to Aaron Stevens once we come up with a single message.
Yep. Okay.
So I'll send that out once we come up with a collaborative message with the four of us.
Great.
Okay. And then I know that we have oh, sorry.
The only other hanging thing on that, we didn't send out who's going to talk to the Concord PD for the honor guard. I'm happy to make that call. Whatever.
Well, I mean, if you want to make the call, why don't you go ahead and make the call then, if you'd like to?
Sure.
Okay. And then I think we also need to update the Dropbox just with contact information for everybody, if that's something that we can do at the same time. Okay. And I know that we have Alice on the line who wanted to talk about the wreaths and placement of the wreaths from the DAO.
May I talk now?
Yes.
Yes, I've been playing phone tag with Dick Klug. Apparently, the Veteran Service Office is no longer across from Harvey Wheeler. It's down on Knox Trail. And this is a temporary thing because of the work that's going on at the townhouse. And he thought maybe I could put a wreath up, or he'd help me put a wreath up on the building on the outside by the front door. And I was going to have a wreath and, have the DAR insignia and say that we were thanking veterans for their service. And then we thought we would have a similar wreath in the center of town. I thought that the wreath down by Dick Kirk's place would be really good because veterans have to go there, or a lot of veterans go there. And it
I'm
would,
sorry, where else?
I'm sorry?
Where?
Well, there'd be the one outside the Veteran Services Office, which is down on Knox
Right.
Trail now. And, obviously that's for living veterans because they have to go in there, or some of them do, to get services.
Right.
And then,
I'm sorry, I thought you said somewhere else, so I'm just trying to keep up.
then I was thinking in the center of town,
Mhm.
not in the common, but the area across the street that's on Main Street with the list of with the row of stores, and on the corner, and then there's the
The mill dam,
yes,
right, the mill dam there, yeah, right,
Yeah.
because those are more recent. Yeah,
all these other memorials there. And we put a similar wreath there, thanking veterans for their service. And that would be something that, everybody would see, or more or less.
Mm-hmm. And
And then I had another issue as to length of time. Are the locations fine?
Yes.
yeah, I think those make sense.
I think that those are great locations.
Yes, I sort of thought that since Dick wasn't by Harvey Wheeler, even though there's the veterans breakfast after Veterans Day, when they're coming in their cars, they won't really see things, and they have to stay seated in their cars. But when they go to services, for veteran services, they get out of their car and go in.
Yeah, that's very thoughtful, Alice. Thank you. I think you were gonna, you said you had a suggestion as far as the length of time. You were
Yeah,
thinking.
The regent, the DAR regent, and you don't have to do what she says, but she thinks it should be there at least a week after Veterans Day. I know in the past, if I'm not careful, the town of Concord picks them up and I go chasing around trying to get them back. And, I have a wreath stand, and I like to have the wreath stands back to use subsequently. And also, I'm not too positive who to contact so it doesn't get taken away or thrown away, the stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Sounds like Public Works, and I'm betting, yeah.
Yeah. Do you want me to, let me contact someone there and try to pass the word along that they should leave it for a week?
Well, I would like to be the one who takes it away.
Okay, that's fine, but same thing, they still need to leave it.
Yeah. And perhaps you could give them, I wouldn't object to you giving them my name to contact if they think it has to come down now or something.
Yeah,
I know in really bad weather, I've taken it down before I wanted to because it was just really windy. I think that was last year. Had a tremendous windstorm, but
So Alice, I have your email address. What's your phone number?
9/7.
No. Oh, I was gonna say, David, I can text that to you if you like,
No, she
or
just give it to me.
or just say it. Okay.
Okay, 371
Yeah,
73
yeah,
49.
49. Okay.
That's my house landline.
Yep. Okay. No promises. I mean, I don't know if the word will get through to the right people, but I will contact DPW.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, maybe ask them, David, if they have a, would they be uncomfortable if it were up past, I don't know, 10 days or whatever, whatever it is there a point where they're going to say, let's go, because if there is an early snow or something,
If
so
the-
we'll know how long Alice can leave it.
Well, Veterans Day is on a Wednesday,
Yep.
so maybe it should stay up until a week from the Sunday that comes afterwards.
That's what I was thinking, like the 22nd or something.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
it's
then
perfect.
I would probably put it up. I'm not too sure how early you would think would be too soon. Maybe Sunday or Monday before. Is that okay?
I think that makes sense, Alice.
Okay. And then Dick Klug said he would take care of the one that's on the building on Knox Trail.
Oh, fantastic. Thank you for that. Okay.
So I guess we're set, and I will hear from David Dow
Yes.
that it's fine. Okay,
Well, no, it's fine. You go ahead and do that. I'm just going to make sure they don't take it away on you.
yeah, very good.
Just let them
Thank
know
you,
those
Alice.
dates. So, it
Okay,
sounds like it'll be up in 2 weeks.
okay. Well, go along.
Thanks, Alice.
Bye. Thank you, Alice.
Yep, bye-bye.
So our next agenda item is the 2020-2021 calendar. Did everybody have a chance to look at that?
Yes.
And can we approve that calendar so I can send it to the communications director for that?
I think it needs to go to the select board next for their approval for those
Oh,
dates.
select
doesn't
board,
it?
I mean? Yep. Oh, okay. I will do that, select board. So Matt, can I email that to you for approval?
Yep.
Okay.
The
So
I
only,
mean, it's too late for the Monday meeting, but it could be the week from Monday. Yeah.
Okay. Yes,
I-
David?
Well, I'm saying that as a newbie. I'm not sure, but I hope.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
I appreciate that.
Tom had asked whether it's the Sunday after Thanksgiving or whether it's December 6th. I sent an email to Ryan Kane. I haven't heard from him.
Yes. So typically the tree lighting event has always been the first Sunday of the December. In the last 3 years that we've
That's
done
fine.
it.
Then okay.
So, but yeah, I haven't heard from Ryan. I've actually sent an email. Maybe I can give him a call tomorrow. But just to confirm that, and then once I confirm that, I can email the list to you, Matt.
Sounds good. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Jessica, did we check with Bedford or like the Merriam's Day corner ceremony seems to move around sometimes.
No, it's always 9 days before Patriots Day.
Okay, all right.
No, it's always that, the 2 Saturdays prior. And we ran into that last year because we were going to try to move it, but Bedford didn't want to move it. And
All right,
so
maybe that's what I'm remembering. Okay.
yeah.
Okay, so, and it looks like I have one error in here, so I'll fix that as well. Just after the Merriam's Corner Parade, or maybe it's not, it's slash exercise. So I think I'll contact Ryan. Then once I hear back from Ryan, I will forward the calendar to you, Matt, and then we'll go from there. So thank you so much for that.
Okay. And it'll probably be on the consent agenda. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you. And then the next agenda item we have on here is the 2021 spring events. Anybody want to open with that?
Is that more just kind of status? And I mean, I guess, or
I mean, as status right now, I had a chairs meeting this week. And I just said basically we only have these two. We know about the Veterans Day scaled down. Tentatively, we're going to be doing that virtual tree lighting event, but after that, we have no idea what the calendar is going to look like. And this is just our proposed, obviously, 2021 calendar of events moving forward. We don't know what Patriots Day is going to look like or Honored Citizens. And I haven't checked the mailbox recently, so even if we have received any.
No, well, there was nothing there last week.
Okay, so then another.
There were just a couple of business junk mail.
Okay, thank you, David. So then I guess the next thing would be is when do we want to post the Honored Citizen application? We usually do that after the first of the year, right, Tom?
I think that's right. I had to look at the
Yeah.
Dropbox.
Yeah, so then
Yeah,
what we
that's
can
right.
do is, okay, so that's what I thought. So as far as this calendar year for 2020, it's just the two events. We can certainly look at the application for the Honored Citizen, moving as our first event for 2021. But other than that, I think everything's really in the air right now. So it's really difficult for us to sort of we have dates on the calendar if we need, as they are, just not sure where I see the group moving forward until we know
But
more.
do we want to
about-
start in January? Do we want to be planning to at least get invitations out for Patriots Day and all? Again, we'll just plan around it. And then if we have to, like last year, pull a plug, we have to pull a plug. But
Right. Well, I think another
Not
thing
really.
that, yeah, I agree, Tom. So I think another thing that was learning, right? David and I, we went to meet with some of the other groups, Arlington and Lexington, that they actually send the invitations before the end of the year. So that's another thing to talk about. So if we wanted to send that, sometime after Thanksgiving, then that provides more groups, more notice. So I don't know if that's something that we can maybe, as far as planning, kind of sending invitations earlier this year. It's up to, what do you guys think about that? Okay, so let's talk about, obviously after Veterans Day, maybe we can schedule another meeting about sending the invitations out. And hopefully then we'll have also the proposed calendar, which we also end up sending to all of our vets in Concord. So that's kind of a card we need to, so that's another thing that we can do all the labels for that as well.
Do we still want to do that?
Well,
Since everything's
think-
so indefinite, I just don't know whether we want to.
Well, the question
yeah.
I think made sense to me actually the other day, Jules. I was talking to one of our veterans in town, and he said, "Are you guys going to, let us know what's going on with Veterans Day?" So I wonder if we should contact Dick Krug to somehow, see if we can get the word out that we're doing something, but it's smaller again to the, sort of the point of the Facebook page and the journal and all that. Do we want to communicate directly with veterans about it?
so that's what I think, we can make the announcement, right? So if we can collectively come up with an announcement, then we can send it to Aaron Stevens to the select board for the approval. And then once we have all of that, we can send it to Dick Krug regarding the Veterans Day. So we have 3 weeks, right, before it. So that'll give us some time. So if we can have a message by this weekend and then have hopefully the select board approve it either not this Monday or even the Monday, but the following Monday, that still means that we have 10 days before Veterans Day. So that's, I'm trying to
Right.
think.
I don't think the select board needs to approve our announcement, our press release.
I don't know if it's about approving the message. I think it's just kind of a courtesy, right? As far as the communications director so that we have a single message. So making sure that message is, appropriate.
Yeah, I would say working with the communications director is enough, though.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
maybe I'm missing this, but I'm hearing two messages. There's one about the spring events, are we sending out something with all the events and just dealing with Veterans Day? And I think the latter is certainly more pressing. It'd be nice to get a couple weeks notice on that. Yeah, the spring events, I think we do have a little bit of time.
Okay. So
Well-
let's just, oh yeah, go ahead, David.
No, well, I like Tom's idea. Why not just let's also call Dick Krug and just,
That sounds great. So let's figure out what our order.
I'll call Dick if you want, or send him an email.
Well, yeah, it's not just about that. It's just what is kind of our process. Remember, we were talking about what our like our line of march, what's going to be said. We need to sort of finalize the things that we have in here. So if we can tell him we're going to be having this, and this, do have the honor guard, we do have the battery, we do have the trumpeter, and we have a parade marshal. It's going to be completely scaled back. If we can figure out the message, then he can also notify all the veterans about that as well, and that it is a scaled back version of what it is. So I think that if we can, like I said, consolidate a message, and then either email, actually, David, if you'd like to email once we have a single message, then we can go from there. I just think it's really important to say, oh yeah, we're still doing something for Veterans Day, and if the vets come forward that day and say, oh, I heard that there was an event, and we don't have in light of COVID, in light of this, and in light of our safety, this is what we're doing. It would just be great if we can have that one message before interacting and sending a message. But we could actually send something to Dick saying, we do plan on having something, wait for a further announcement.
No, excuse me.
Sounds like
I thought the message to Dick was, we don't want the veterans to show up. That's all we need to tell him. Am I wrong, Tom?
No, I think that's right. I think it is a message that we are doing something. So
yeah, no, that's fine. We're doing something, but we're not inviting the greater public.
So, but I think what I'm hearing, Jaliska said, you want to circulate an email among us essentially in the next 48, 72 hours, whatever, by the weekend. We'll just get a text together that's going to be one text that's going to go to communications director. We're going to put on Facebook. We're going to send a Dick. So here's the story. Here's what it is. Boom. One message everywhere. Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
Okay.
Great. Sounds good to me.
Okay, so let's do that. So I think that sort of opens up anything else. And there's administrative. Item 6, the committee Dropbox.
Well, wait a second. Tom he did say there were 2 things. So the second thing is those cards that we typically mail to all the veterans. We announcing usually we mail that in September because of Veterans Day. I'm not sure we should spend the time and the money sending those cards when everything is so indefinite. I think Memorial Day is not going to change. If we do something, they know when Memorial Day is.
Right, which is the one where they have the most visibility. And the same would be true for Patriots Day and all.
It's just a thought. I'm not sure we need to. I don't know if we need to do that this year, because it's a crazy year.
Yeah, I'm fine not doing it, or at least for now, until we have a better sense. I mean, we may know very quickly, something by first of the year or something, and we may start to get a sense. Who knows?
Right.
Or we could do it because in that we're not doing, I don't think we're going to have this all, we're not going to have enough time to get a card printed with the whole schedule, printed, stamped, mailed to all the veterans, if we need to wait on the approval of the full schedule, because that'll be happening 9 days before Veterans Day. So, and we do need that approval on the schedule. We don't need approval on Veterans Day. The select board's already approved our plan for Veterans Day.
Right.
Well, I guess we need approval, but we already have it, is what I'm saying. So the card, if we're going to send it, could wait until,
the spring
February,
events,
March or something, when everything else is then a little closer.
Right.
If we do it at all. So I kind of agree with David in that I don't think we need to do it now. We could push that.
Right.
back.
Exactly. Exactly. Right. I mean, obviously, we're not doing things that we have done previously in the past. So I'm just saying, if we do decide to have the spring events, it'd be great to have the card. We don't know if it's going to happen. So why waste the money to do that? It's not even about wasting the money. It's about informing our vets that we are doing something. And if we have that notification through the communications director and then also with Dick Krug, then that's great. But again, the separate thing is that if we do want to, after Thanksgiving, sometime before Christmas, if we can think about also sending the invitations out for the Patriots Day Parade, I think that would be a smart thing, essentially because Lexington definitely sends it out early. I think Arlington sends it out in January. So it would just be good if they receive it from Concord, Lexington, Bedford, and Arlington. Then we can sort of work around all of that as well. Does that make sense? Okay. And David, does that answer?
Yeah, I didn't have a question. No, that's
Okay. Okay. Great.
my memory is they actually they did it in November, so we're still behind. That's fine.
Thank you so much. I think, is it okay for us to move across to that administrative item for the community Dropbox? So if anybody has any updated contact information for anyone, sorry, Honor Guard Battery, like Dick Krug, and we have Alice's information, if we could just continually update the Dropbox for information, it'd be really helpful, including the forms, any of the checklists, anything like that. I know this year is going to be different, obviously, than it was last year. Then let's just make sure that we're all working on that. So that's just my 2 cents on that. And now the next one is public comment. Anybody? Okay. So then we're going to try to schedule not our next meeting, or we could schedule the next meeting, but we are going to do that walk around, which we have already scheduled for October 31st at 10:15, and to meet at the Pritchard Gate.
And then that's going to be posted as a meeting. Or I assume. I think you probably ought to.
Sure.
Yes. And then our next Zoom meeting would be after that point to finalize everything for Veterans Day. So when are people available for that? If we schedule after the 31st?
Do you want to do it sometime the week of the 2nd, probably?
I think that would be a good idea. Do you want to stick to the earlier in the week, or is the latter part of the week better for people? I think that's the week of the elections. So do we want to do it after the elections, or what are you guys thinking?
I would suggest if we can come up with a couple of dates, just for Zoom availability, we could have our preferred or whatever, but just so we can run a couple of them by Jeremy to make sure we get the Zoom.
That sounds great. So do you want to do it before the elections or after the elections?
You don't think we'll have it finalized by the 31st? I mean, we almost already have it finalized, don't we?
I think we do,
Yeah.
but just, you want to run, I think it's probably a good idea that, and I can certainly do this, to turn the script into a,
That was gonna
script
say.
and have a checklist, and let's run through it like we normally do just the week before, just to be sure we're ready.
All on the same page. All on the same page. So
I'd
do we want
suggest
to?
maybe Monday and Thursday? Are those dates good? Those are when we've met in the past that week. Do those work for people? The 2nd and the
Okay.
5th?
Yep, the 2nd and the 5th.
The 5th would be better.
Okay. The 4th and the 5th be
Well,
better for you, Dave?
What I could do, what time are you thinking on the 2nd?
Does the 7 o'clock time work for you, David, on the 2nd?
I could make earlier. I couldn't make 7, I don't think.
Okay.
I mean,
Is 6:30 unreasonable for everybody on a Monday? The 6:30. Okay, so let's plan, Tom, if we can, on Monday the 2nd at 6:30 then, if we can, as a first choice, and then on the 5th is the Thursday. What is that
6:30?
time? Yeah, do you want to just do that? Is 6:30 okay for you as well, David? Sue?
Okay.
Oh no, sorry.
And depending on the select board meeting, it may be running still at 6:30. So, but I'm just the liaison, so it's not that critical.
That mean it'll probably be just a lot of logistics too, Matt. So just being sure we're tight. Not that that's a long event. So did Jaliska freeze? Or am I freezing? Because David looks frozen.
Looks
No,
like
she froze.
Yeah, you're fine, Tom.
I'll give her a second here. I'll text her.
Well, I think it sounded like we could hear her. I make a motion to adjourn. Oh, we
We
lost
just
her.
lost her. Yeah. I'll just give her a moment, see if she rings back in. Give it just a minute.
Yeah,
but if
But I
you
agree.
have a quorum, you can adjourn.
well, we don't.
Oh,
now.
you're missing one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we don't have a quorum. I guess we are adjourned. Right?
I think you could adjourn.
Yeah. So, okay. So, well, I think we got to exactly what we needed. So we'll run the 2nd at 6:30 and the 5th at 6:30 by the Zoom in that order. And I'll let everybody know which one we get. Make sense?
Great, thank you.
All right. Thanks, everybody.
Thanks, everybody. See ya. Bye-bye.
Good night.